In the last video at the track, I found that I was running lean, um, and my fuel pump was wavy on the line, and so I'm trying to fix that issue in this video. And I'm going through the whole fuel system and cleaning it and replacing some return line, and I'm installing a wet kit with a standalone fuel tank so that it has its own pump, and I'm gonna be able to provide a lot more fuel. It should have been able to run it dry. The fuel pump was big enough to be able to, and the injectors were big enough. The setup was right to be able to run it dry, but it wasn't, and I think I found the problems and fixed them, and I think this will be a lot safer to run the car like this now. This is the hose. Only one elbow. And this is where the kink once was. But it doesn't feel that restricted. It's just a little bit restricted, but that's the old one. This is the new line. Keep in mind that this is PTFE and this is just regular, so this is a lot bigger on the inside, so it's like the same size, but it's actually a bigger hole. And I don't know, you can't see it, I guess, but that's the difference. Instead of changing this to 8AN and putting an elbow here, and because this 8AN is too crowded and I don't really want to put an elbow in, I'm thinking I'm just going to put a bulkhead fitting right here, and then this can just go right here straight, and I don't have to worry about it being elbowed or restricted. And maybe I'll put it back here so when the fuel is rushing back this way when I'm taking off, that's an open space. That's that material from the anti-splash stuff. There's a bunch of orange gunk. Probably from the fuel cap, because that's still in here. See? And down here by I blew the hose out. If I can get. See it? I gotta suck all that out. I blew that out of the hose. See all that garbage in there? I don't want to take it apart. Put all that garbage in there. Alright, this one's a lot cleaner on the inside. This is a 10 micron. And I'm just going to replace it for good measure. Okay, I got these little covers that are like the old carburetor bowl covers off, and these are the injectors. And just pull them out, unplug them, and I'm gonna go get my injector cleaner and clean them. Okay, this is an acceleration test. And drain it. You dump the seafoam in here, right here, and it drains into the tank. When you drain it, that's how you fill it. That one on the left seems like it takes off slower. But it's also the one that's the fullest at the end. I'm going to do it again. This one seems to have a dead spot too. Okay, I'm gonna let those bubbles settle and then get a reading. Okay, this is the other 4, and that one's pretty low. This one's the best one because 61 was the best one of the last 4. Well, that one's pretty close to 62 actually, and that one is 60, or maybe it's 58. That one's 54, and this one's 48. That's pretty low. Okay, so I have all these injectors because I had 2 throttle bodies, so I had 8 spare injectors. These 4 and these 4 numbers here that are in here are what was in the car. These were barely used when I broke the throttle body: 60, 58, 55, 62, 58, 58, 58, 59, 60, 1, 60, 56, and 58. This one leaks. This 62 one leaks. That's probably why it's 62 instead of 61. I just tested all the rest of them. They don't leak. So these 2 are pretty low. That's these 2. And I just tested them again, and it's even lower on this one. This one's in the 30s now, 38. And this one's still at 62, 60, 50, and this one's really bad. Okay, this solenoid for fueling for the nitrous is from the 14, because like I said, I'm taking the nitrous off the 14 and putting a wet kit on this instead of a dry kit. And so that's connected, and the fuel line runs, it's hard to see with the mess, but it runs down through here under the car. I still gotta tie it up and shorten it a little bit or something. But long line short, it comes up through here, connects to this, and I gotta wire everything. But this is gonna be the C16 fuel. I've got it bolted down in 3 spots because that really can't be bolted. But I had to move this tank over 2 inches. I had to slide the whole bracket over towards the battery so that this would fit. So it doesn't look like much, but it took me almost all day to take that out of the out of the 14 and put it in here. And I got a whole stack of wires all messed up to go through, but I don't think I'm going to be using any of those much anyway, because I'm going to be wiring it to the Terminator X stuff, so I got to figure all that out tomorrow. But it's plumbed, it needs zip tied in the bottom and wired. Okay, I've got it all wired. I just tuck this down here. Got the fuel pump wired. I got a pressure gauge, manual pressure gauge. Got all the wires kind of zip tied. This is for the bottle heater. This is for the pump, and the other one is for this. This is if it loses pressure on the fuel, it'll manually, so it's redundant, it'll manually it cuts off the wires to the solenoids for the nitrous. So I ran it all the way to the front, two wires all the way to the front, and this is the nitrous controller solenoid or whatever, and it powers both these solenoids. So when that cuts, it'll shut off the nitrous. And so that's set for a certain, I got it set for a certain PSI. Like, I got it set for if it gets less than what it's supposed to get, but it seems to like go a lot less than what it's supposed to get. So I set this until it shut off at when it was running at 60 PSI. And it seems like it cuts off way lower. So I don't think it's even very useful. But then I also put this in so I can set in the, I haven't done that yet. I got to get in the computer and set the pressures that would shut that off at whatever PSI to shut the nitrous off in the computer. So I really don't need both, but I did both. Okay. I changed the setting here to wet, and I didn't change anything else because it looks like everything is the way it needs to be. Even just because I change it to wet, it doesn't mean I gotta change anything else. I'm sure it'll cut fuel if my jet is too big, or I don't know. Hopefully it's like I picked the right one and it won't have to add too much, and it won't have to take away, because it might not be able to take away enough fuel. So I guess I'll have to watch for that. But since it was set up for the 14, I'm sure that this thing takes more fuel than the 14 did, and I use the same fuel jet, so it ought to be okay. All right, the fuel filters came in. I installed them. That's one. That's the other one. I ran the line up with the zip ties, and had a couple feet extra, but I didn't bother cutting it off. I just kind of looped it back here so it ain't got any hard turns in it or anything, but I didn't feel like shortening the hose. I already started it once, but oh, turn it on. Okay, that's the fuel pump. This
Hear that? That's the NitroSeal pump. That doesn't need to be running though, but still have some air in the line. Jeez. So I'm gonna have to give it some gas. That hopefully will fix the lean condition. We'll have to wait till next time I take it out to see if it helps. Thanks for watching.